point you become an NRI, it gets very tough.
Now you're taxable in both countries, right? So that whole double taxation, net you are left with just 3.5 to 4% returns, which is too little. In fact, in GIFT City there is no INR.
Okay.
Everything is foreign currency, predominantly dollar. Now the major difference between these two in terms of who is an NRI is that FEMA looks at intent. Under FEMA, you are an NRI from day one. So in GIFT City, you can have a foreign currency deposit with tenures as low as 7 days. So effectively, the entire thing becomes tax-free for you. And this is one of the major USPs. At Belong, we are offering as much as 6%.
Now, one important thing to note here is it's USD denominated.
Yes.
Which means the 6% can effectively become like 9%. Or
in INR terms. So for
INR
example...
terms, Hello everyone. Welcome to the Home Advantage, where we decode NRI finance. Today we have with us Ankur Choudhary, the co-founder and CEO of Belong. Welcome, Ankur.
Thank you. Really excited to be here and talk about all the stuff that is happening at Belong and in GIFT City.
Thank you so much for being here. So Ankur, investing has become very easy in India in the past few years, right? With a lot of apps coming up, stock market investing is very easy. But the point you become an NRI, it gets very tough, right? Regulations come in, account opening is a hassle. So there are a lot of problems. So with this podcast, my goal is to decode and understand the problems that NRIs are facing and help them get answers to a lot of their questions, the basic questions, right? And I would also love to understand how you ended up building Belong, what your journey was, right? I think we'll start from there.
Okay.
So what's your background? How did you end up building Belong?
Okay. So I'm an engineer by education. I graduated from IIT Kanpur way back in 2008. But after that, I've mostly been working in financial services just out of, pure interest. I've always been fascinated by, how money works, right? So I started my career as a portfolio manager at a PMS. And then, became an algo trader at a global hedge fund. And then around 2015 is, when I became an entrepreneur. So I started my first venture with a couple of friends that was called Goalwise. It was a mutual fund investment app for resident Indians. Worked on that for about 5 years, 2015 to 2020. That got acquired by another, a larger Fintech company. Continued working there again on the investment products for a couple of years. After that, again, wanted to do something of my own with my co-founders, and there we started Belong for again building an investment app, but this time focusing on NRIs because, as you rightly said, right, the moment you go out of India and then still want to invest back in India, there are a lot of hassles that you face as an NRI. So we saw those challenges and we wanted to build something that helps global Indians become part of India's growth story.
So you mentioned you were acquired by a bigger fintech, right? So did you build Belong with the same team, or was it a completely new team?
Yeah, so most of the co-founding team is the same. So Savitri and Ayush, who are two of the 4 co-founders along with me. So we also did Goalwise together. And Sai, who is our 4th co-founder, he was at the acquiring company as the chief business officer. So when we pitched him this idea, so he was also very excited about it and said, okay, let's do this together.
Right. So your earlier product was an investment app for Indians.
Yes.
Right. And now you're building for NRIs.
Yeah. So I'll just quickly tell you how this whole NRI aspect came out. So when we were doing Goalwise also, since we had built this investment app, and this is 2015. So this before a lot of the apps that exist today for investing, they were not around back
Jio
then.
wasn't launched.
Right. So this was actually one of the first such apps.
Yeah.
And we used to get a lot of NRIs also. Just purely organically they would come, and we could not service them. Right, because their onboarding is different. As you yourself said, there are different regulations that kick in. So we had to, a lot of times just turn them away. And that stayed with us. So when we were, looking for, what should we build now. So we sort of went back to that and said that, okay, for resident Indians, everything has become super easy, but that's not the case for NRIs. So let's, solve for that.
Right.
And that is how the idea of Belong came about.
Right. And there's a fundraising story here, right? So could you please tell us a bit about that? We are in Elevation's office right now. So,
yes. Yeah, so Elevation is, our primary investor in the seed round. We raised about 5 million from them last year when we were starting out with Belong. So honestly speaking, it was much easier as a second-time founder to raise money. In fact, if I have to be very honest, I don't think if I had not done Goalwise and then just started with the idea of Belong, I don't think, I would have been able to raise that money. But given that now we have a strong track record of, building in a regulated industry such as Fintech, we have, built a startup, scaled it, exited it. So I think that gave them confidence, in us as a team. And obviously the problem that we are going after, helping NRIs, invest in India, that's a huge problem. There are like 32 million NRIs and OCIs across the world, and India is the next growth story. So a lot of them do want to invest in India. So I think, putting good team and a good problem together, I think they, it was sort of a win-win for them to partner with us.
Right. So, I mean, the NRI aspect, right? Even now, I talk to a lot of mutual fund distributors, financial advisors.
Yeah.
Even today, investing is really hard for NRIs.
Yes.
Right? It's not only back then. So the moment the person is an NRI, the KYC process, everything is very tedious, right? So most advisors or distributors, they stop selling NRIs because it's a hassle for them, right? It's really hard to manage. So, I mean, definitely there's a product requirement here, and we have a great team. So yeah, it's pretty the checks the boxes for a VC fund, right? Yeah. So let's get to the core part of Belong, right? So what are the biggest hassles that you think an NRI is facing right now if they want to invest in India?
Yeah, great question, and I'm sure a lot of NRIs would be able to relate to this. So we have seen, like, from our interactions with several of them, that there are broadly 4 problems that they face, right from the first one, and a big one being the onboarding itself, which includes the KYC and account setup and everything. For us resident Indians, it has become like everything is digital, right? Like you download an app and in like 5 minutes via Aadhaar, OTP, and all that, everything is like set up. You are ready to go. For NRIs, the same process, is very paperwork driven, right? You need to, and if you're abroad, right, then you need to get your, KYC documents notarized or attested and scan them and then, courier it back for, just opening an account, right? So KYC onboarding has been, one big challenge.
And even video KYC, that's another.
Yeah. I mean, for resident Indians, video KYC has been a game changer, right? And we'll touch upon this a bit later in the context of Gift City and all. But even like right now, also in India, right, video KYC is not allowed for NRIs if they are abroad, right? That option is still not there, right? So yeah, the first thing being the onboarding, which includes KYC.
Right.
The second is taxation, right? The moment like you are investing in India, you are a resident of another country and you are investing in India. So the way global taxation works is that now you're taxable in both countries, right? So that whole double taxation, and India, the way India taxes NRIs is that everything is sort of upfront, in the sense that there will be a TDS or a withholding tax, right? As resident Indians, we when we redeem our investments, there's usually no TDS.
You
file later, right? For NRIs, there is an upfront TDS, right? And usually where there is an upfront TDS, it may even be higher than what your actual tax liability may be, right? So then you have to figure all that out and then claim a refund while still being liable to file taxes in your country of residence also, right? So this double taxation means double paperwork and all of that. So that's the second big problem. The third problem is of repatriation. So what that means is that, okay, let's say you have sent some money to India to invest in something. Now, let's say you want that money back in your country of residence for whatever reason, right? Let's say you want to fund your child's education, or you want to buy a house abroad, right? So whatever you had invested, let's say in India, you want to take that back.
Right.
Now that is very difficult, right? So a lot of NRIs you'll hear saying that it's easy to send money to India. It's very difficult to get it back, right? So there are challenges there. Banks will require extra paperwork. Some banks even go to the extent of saying that, okay, you come to the bank branch and, then sign these documents and then you will be able to do, especially when it comes to large transfers, right? And this is your own money, right? So these are just hurdles that, exist between you being able to access your own money, right? So repatriability is the third one. The fourth is, just lack of USD denominated products, or putting it another way, you're forced to put everything in INR, which is a depreciating currency, right? So now when you become an NRI, you have you have earnings in foreign currencies, let's say dollars or dirhams and all, which are not or are stronger currencies than INR, right? So whenever you invest in India, you get some returns, but some of it is sort of taken away just by INR falling against the USD, right? And a lot of NRIs don't have access to USD products, right? So that has been the fourth challenge that NRIs face. So yeah, these four is are what we have seen from our conversation.
So I think in the past 10 years, Indian rupee has depreciated by 3.5% every year, right?
Yeah, that's about the average. That's a big number, and and that has really eaten into the returns of NRI. So for example, let's say you invested in a NRI fixed deposit, right, which is one of the popular savings options that NRIs have, right, and it was giving let's say 7% returns in INR. But now if you take into account the currency depreciation of say 3.5%, so net you are left with just 3.5 to 4% returns, right? So
less than inflation.
Which is too little. So that's definitely one of the big pain points that NRIs face.
Again, when we say inflation 6 to 7%, medical education inflation is like 14-15%.
Exactly.
That's nothing what we're getting, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So one major solution that has come up for NRIs to solve all these problems was Gift City, right? And all of Belong's products are, the foundation is Gift City, right?
Yes.
So people still don't know what Gift City is. So for the viewers, please tell them what exactly is Gift City and how is it better?
Yeah. No, great question again. And yeah, this has been actually, one of our sort of, aha moments also when we started the journey of Belong, right? That, as I mentioned, a lot of the problems that NRIs face, KYC, repatriation, double taxation, lack of USD products. A lot of these are structural, right? And they come from regulations that the government has put in place, right? So, one thing that we were constantly thinking about, that how as a startup, we are going to solve for a problem that comes from a regulation, right?
Yeah.
And that is where the concept of Gift City really stood out, and and it's the platform then we chose to build Belong from. And I'll just for our viewers, and I'll just break down what Gift City is. It's a new concept, as you said. So Gift City stands for Gujarat International Finance Tech City. It, in simple words, it's a financial services special economic zone, right? So I think some of us are aware of this SEZ concept, right? In India, in the past, there have been manufacturing SEZs. There has been IT services SEZs. A lot of what Bangalore and Hyderabad is, it originated from government setting up these special economic zones where IT services were given certain benefits and tax breaks and all of that for them to flourish, right? So similarly, Gift City is a financial services SEZ. It's the first of its kind in India. And how it works is, so any SEZ generally works on the principle of government giving some relaxations, right? Including tax breaks. So tax breaks as well as some regulatory relaxations. So how it works in the case of Gift City, the Gift City has been established with the objective of attracting foreign capital into India.
Mm.
Right? That's the primary objective. India is still a capital-starved country. For us to become a developed nation, right, we need to attract a lot of capital from outside, right? And that is the objective with which GIFT City has been established. Now, in order to attract foreign capital, a lot of which would come from NRIs and OCIs, government has given certain regulatory exemptions. So first of all, GIFT City is considered offshore under FEMA regulations, right? So a lot of the banking, so FEMA generally controls the banking and the flow of money across borders and all of that. So GIFT City is like an offshore jurisdiction under FEMA. So a lot of these regulations around repatriation, limits, what kind of bank accounts and all does not apply to GIFT City. Okay. Secondly, there are tax breaks given to investors investing via GIFT City, right? So for example, NRIs can invest in multiple products that are based out of GIFT City and which are not taxable in India, right? So these are like some of the core principles on which GIFT City is based.
Right.
And coming specifically to the problems that we listed for NRIs, right? GIFT City solves for a bunch of them, and obviously it's a sort of evolving journey. Yeah. But if I could just explain how each of these pain points that we discussed about NRIs are sort of solved by GIFT City. So starting with KYC, right? So we discussed that for resident Indians the KYC is digital, right? But for NRIs it's not, even in onshore India. So we'll differentiate GIFT City as offshore and the rest of India as onshore. So very recently, GIFT City, because it is more external focused, more NRI focused, they have just allowed video KYC for NRIs. So now as an NRI, while sitting abroad, you can digitally onboard and get avail of GIFT City based investments.
You don't have to come to India.
You don't have to come to India. You don't have to print any documents or get them attested or notarized or scan and send. Like all of that is gone, right? Like if you have, so currently it is still based on you having an Aadhaar. So if you have an Aadhaar, then you can digitally onboard yourself like a resident Indian would and avail of GIFT City products. So that's a huge problem that has been solved.
It's a dream come true, right?
Yes. And this is something that we were working with the regulators in GIFT City to see that happen. There were drafts that we had sent in that, this is how the process could be and all. And it's really great to see that regulation come in, just at the end of last month.
So it's not implemented yet, right?
No, so the regulation is out there. And now platforms like us who are operating out of GIFT City are in the process of implementing it.
Right.
So that's the first thing that has been taken care of. And again, this is also a journey. It will keep getting easier and easier as we go, right? The second thing is on the repatriation. So this is now by default, because the entire GIFT City is offshore under FEMA, right? The entire repatriation question only does not arise because it is offshore.
Got it. Okay.
So you can send in, whatever money from abroad to invest, and you can take out whatever you want without any limits, without any paperwork, because it does not come under FEMA regulations only. So that's repatriation taken care of. The third is double taxation, right? Now, when we talk about double taxation, again, a lot of products, not all, but a lot of products that NRIs can avail of from GIFT City have been exempted from taxation in India. So while they will still have to pay taxes in their country of residence, at least they don't have to bother about taxes on the India side. So which basically means no TDS also. And for those specific products, no ITR filing is also required.
Cool. Okay.
Right.
We'll discuss it in detail in the coming questions.
So even double taxation has been taken care of. And then finally, we were talking about having USD products and non-INR products. So again, GIFT City being offshore, government has allowed international banking as well as international investment products. So you can have dollar savings account. You can have dollar deposits. You already have dollar denominated mutual funds that invest in India or dollar denominated funds that invest abroad. So in fact, in Gift City, there is no INR.
Okay.
Everything is foreign currency, predominantly dollar.
Right.
Right. So this makes Gift an ideal regulatory platform for NRIs to think about when they want to invest in India, and hence it was an ideal platform for a startup like Belong to base its products out of.
Understood. Okay. So I saw a recent video of yours where you visited Gift City. So most people think Gift City is a concept. It's
Right.
actually a physical location.
Yes.
You also mentioned you need a custom clearance to get into Gift City, right? So if you go to Gift City, how does it look like? Just give us an idea.
Yeah, sure. So I think I first visited Gift City last year in February. So we took I took a flight from Bangalore, landed at Ahmedabad airport. So it's a 30-minute cab ride from there. So physically, it's located between Ahmedabad and Gandhinagar, almost like in the middle. Took a cab there while entering Gift City. So as I said, it's a special economic zone. So there is a clearly demarcated area that, this is, where Gift City starts. This is the boundary and all of that. And as you enter it, again, there are sub areas within that. There is a, DTA, domestic tariff area. And then there is this whole IFSCA area. So once you enter the IFSCA area, you have to clear a customs checkpoint.
Okay.
Right. Again, because it is offshore. You are only dealing with, foreign currencies, foreign products, and all of that. So you have to clear that. You have to declare, and then you get in. Even all the goods and services, right? That businesses use within the IFSC zone, right? They're all imports and exports.
Right.
So there's no GST also.
Okay.
Right within that. So there's no GST applicable, right? Any service that you provide from there to, let's say, someone abroad, that's an export. Any service that you take from someone, let's say in the rest of the country to there, that will be like an import of service. So yeah, I mean that was a new experience for me as well.
And there are a lot of banks. All those are set up in Gift City right now.
Yes. So there are now I think close to 30 banks who have set up their branches in Gift City, and these include not just most of your Indian banks, but also international banks, and definitely big ones from the US, like you have a Citi or Stancy and all, but also from Middle East. There's Maastricht, there's ENBD that is setting up. Also Far East, from Japan, there are banks that have set up. So it's really and truly becoming like a global financial hub, which is one of the aspirations that we have from Gift City.
Right. And it's really weird to think there's a place in India where INR is not the...
Yeah, it's not. It's there are 15 currencies that are currently notified that can be used in Gift City, and INR is like strictly not one of them.
Right, understood. Okay, so this will be a new information for most of the viewers, right? So now let's come to Belong, right? So Belong has introduced a series of products based out of Gift City.
Yeah.
And the very first product was a Gift City based FD, right? For a stock market and mutual fund educator like myself, FD is boring, right? So, but why did you still decide to start with an FD?
Yeah. Interesting question. So first of all, in investments, boring is good, right? The more exciting it gets, the riskier it can be.
Yeah.
So we started with fixed deposits because, again, like if you look at the investment data or the behavior of NRIs, like even when you talk to them, right, you'll seldom find people who are just investing in mutual funds. Right. And also there is a whole, there's a risk profile, there is an age demography involved. But just at a high level, if you see, around 20 to 25% of remittances that we get from NRIs, inward remittances that we get from NRIs, actually go towards bank deposits.
Okay.
Right. And actually this number is higher than equities also. Right. So it's definitely a product that is widely used and popular because of two reasons. A, it's very simple. Indians do love their fixed deposits, right? So after you become NRI also, that does not change.
Yeah.
So it's a very simple, safe product to understand and use. And the other thing is that it's tax-free. the interest that you earn on it is tax-free in India.
Okay.
Right, even the NRE fixed deposits that a lot of NRIs make are tax free in India. So similarly, even in the gift city, the fixed deposits that you make, the interest earned on it is not taxable in India.
Right.
So these two reasons, the simplicity, safety, as well as the tax free interest, were the reasons why we started with fixed deposits.
But in NRE FDs, there'll be a TDS.
No.
NRE.
No. So yeah, if we can talk about all the different fixed deposit options that NRIs have on the India side, and then the fourth one on the gift city side. So there are now, with gift city coming into the picture, there are 4 fixed deposit options that any NRI has.
Okay.
The first one is their NRO account FD. Right. So NRO is what their savings account was when they were in India, and that gets converted into an NRO account when they move abroad.
Yeah.
They can make an FD via that. Or they might have opened a NRE account, which is meant for sending the money they earn abroad back to India. So they can make an NRE FD also. Both of these accounts are INR denominated, rupee accounts. Right. The third option is a FCNR deposit, foreign currency non-resident deposit. Now this is available in foreign currencies, as the name suggests, and you can make a fixed deposit in that also. Again, primarily people make it in dollars, right? And now the fourth one is the gift city based fixed deposit, which is similar to the foreign currency deposit. So again, you can make it in dollars, you can make it in other currencies also, the dollar one being the most popular. Out of these 4, only the interest in the NRO account or the NRO FD is taxable in India. And that is where you have TDS.
Okay.
For all the other 3 FDs, including your NRE FD, FCNR FD, as well as the gift city FD, there is no tax liability and there is no TDS.
Right. Okay. And NRE, it will be denominated in INR.
Yeah.
FCNR and gift city, it will be denominated in the US dollar or whatever.
Or some other foreign currency.
Right.
Yes.
So what is the difference between an FCNR FD and the gift city FD? Which is better?
Yeah. So with the FCNR FD, there is one major limitation that the minimum tenure for it is 1 year.
Okay.
You can't do a 6-month FCNR FD.
Then there'll be extra charges.
Yeah. No, you can't do that. It does not exist as a product.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So one is that. The other is, let's say you made a 2-year FCNR FD, and now for some reason, let's say you had an emergency, you need those funds and you want to break it in 6 months, right? You can do that, but you will not get any interest. Like you won't get even that 6-month interest.
It will be zero interest.
Zero interest.
Okay.
Right. So FCNR FD is not available for tenures less than 1 year. And B, if you break it within 1 year, then there is no interest that you get. You only get your principal back. Right. Both these problems are solved with a gift city FD. So in gift city, you can have a foreign currency deposit with tenures as low as 7 days. And can go up to like 5 years, 10 years, whatever.
Right.
And then even if you want to break it, let's say you made, continuing with the same example, let's say you made a 2-year gift city deposit or even a 1-year gift city FD, and you want to break it after 3 months or 6 months, you will still get some interest. There may be some penalty. So for example, if it was a 5% FD, you may get a 4%, but you will get something.
It won't be zero.
It won't be zero. So those are like the 2 big differences between FCNR and gift city FD.
Understood. And how does an FD work in Belong? So what is the money flow like?
Right. So actually another difference between FCNR and gift city FD is that typically you will be able to make your FCNR deposit with an Indian bank only when you have like an NRE bank account with them or an NRO bank account with them. Right. With the gift city FD, there is no concept of NRE or NRO bank account. Right. So you can make this FD directly from your foreign bank account also.
Right.
So you can just wire the money and you can make this deposit without needing an Indian bank account in the picture at all.
So if an NRI in the UAE, right? So they can invest in the dirham itself, right? If they need.
Yeah, if they want to,
Yeah.
or they can convert it into dollars also. So I'll just tell you how it works on Belong. So for example, so what we have launched is a dollar FD. Right, we are not providing deposits in other
Okay.
currencies yet. Dollar is the predominant currency, for savings and investments in Gift City and globally as well. So
Right.
we are mostly sticking to US dollars. So on Belong, there is a US dollar fixed deposit available for NRIs. If let's say you are an NRI in UAE, you can download the Belong app, complete the KYC, right? And then you can directly transfer money from your foreign bank account, either via a local payment partner that we have integrated with, or via an international wire transfer. And that FD will get created within the Belong app with our partner bank, which is a bank based out of Gift City. It's an Indian private bank that is based out of Gift City. The FD gets created within the app itself. It's a completely digital journey. It gets booked in your name.
Okay.
Right. So you will with the bank. So you will get communication from the bank directly that, hey, this is the FD that has been booked. This is the FD number. This is the FD, receipt and all of that. So you will get that communication on your email, that you provide. So the safety of your money is with the bank itself. Right. And whenever the FD matures, or let's say you want to, for some reason, access it, break it before that, all of that can be done via the app itself.
Okay. All right. I think this is very important because when a new fintech app enters the scene,
Yes.
most people are worried about the safety.
Yes.
Right. Because they've seen apps shutting down, right?
Yeah.
So what
Yeah.
happened to our money?
Yeah.
This is the answer to that question.
Yeah.
Right?
So, and just to add to that, so 2 points again. So A, we are not just like a fintech wrapper over the bank. We ourselves are regulated in Gift City under IFSCA, which is the Gift City regulator. In fact, we hold multiple licenses there. We have a PSP license, which is a payment services license. We have a broker-dealer license. We have a distribution license, and some of this, we may talk about it later. But we are a regulated entity in Gift City.
Right.
We have our offices there. We have our compliance and regulatory personnel there. The second, since the FD gets booked directly under your name with the bank, right? You can also directly approach the bank to access your money.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? It is digital with Belong, but for some reason, let's say you want to bypass, or let's say Belong does not exist tomorrow or whatever, you can directly access that money with the bank also.
Right. And you also mentioned converting dirhams to USD, right?
Yes.
Is there any charges involved here at this point?
Yeah. So that is one of the features that we provide, that we have made transactions from countries like UAE, where we have some local payment partnerships completely free of cost. So you can transfer money at zero cost from your UAE bank account to Gift City to make these deposits.
Wonderful. Okay. So you also mentioned about the regulation, right? IFSCA.
Yes.
That's something that people don't know about.
Yes.
It's a new entity.
Yeah.
So what is IFSCA? As in, is RBI, SEBI, are they part of it, or is it a completely new one?
Yeah. So just taking a step back, when Gift City was established as a financial services, hub, right? Again, the aim being that, we should attract foreign capital into India, via banking, via investing, and all of that. And also that it should become a global financial services hub, like similar to Singapore or London and all. So you have regulators in India. You have 4 financial regulators in India, right? You have RBI, which regulates banking activities. You have SEBI, which regulates capital markets and investment activities. You have IRDAI, which regulates the insurance market. And you have PFRDA, which regulates the pension products. So originally, Gift City, even all the respective financial products being developed in Gift City were under these regulators.
Okay.
Until 2020, because, it was probably not their priority, so things were not moving as fast. So around 2020, what the government did is set up a new regulator for Gift City. And it has the powers of all 4 combined, as far as Gift City is concerned. Right? So we call it's a unified regulator. Right? So it has the powers of RBI, SEBI, IRDA, and PFRDA. So it regulates all the products within GIFT City, whether they are banking products, whether they are investment products, whether they are insurance or pension products.
Understood.
So there's a new regulator that is set up by the government of India, which is sort of parallel to RBI, SEBI, IRDI. Everyone reports to the finance ministry and the government of India. But now there is a separate regulator,
right,
with the powers of all four, that governs all the financial activities in GIFT City.
And that's why things started getting rolling faster in the last 5 years.
So in the last 5 years is, when the action has really picked up once there was a separate regulator. So now, one of the recent developments that we spoke about is this whole video KYC, right? For NRIs that the GIFT City regulator, IFSCA, has just announced.
Yeah, you were just speaking a few minutes back, right? The idea of GIFT City started in 2007.
Yes.
Right. So it took a long time.
Yes.
But now this is a perfect time because everyone has internet connection. So everyone want to invest. So this is the perfect time, right? Okay. So I think we got a clarity about GIFT City and what Belong is doing. So now I want to answer, like we said in the beginning, answer a few very common questions that NRIs might be having, right? So I want to divide the section into three, either four. So three sections, banking, taxation, and the investment part, right?
Yeah.
So let's start with banking, right? So one of the major problems that an NRI faces when it comes to banking is the NRO account debacle, right?
Yeah.
So we all know that one should convert, they can't keep their regular savings account, but most people have a savings account.
Yes.
Most NRIs do have, right? So what is that all about? So what's happening there?
Yeah. So as you rightly said, right? Once you become an NRI, you are not supposed to keep your regulars, keep and use your regular savings account, right? So the idea is that you should convert it into an NRO account, non-resident ordinary savings account. Rest of it remains the same for this account. It is meant to, it's meant to receive any sort of income that you have in India, or any kind of expenses that you want to cover in India. It's supposed to be like that same account, but instead of a regular savings account, it should now be redesignated or converted to a NRO account, right? The second type of account that now as an NRI you can open, and depending on your use case, you can decide whether to open or not, is the NRE account, non-resident external account, right? What this account is supposed to be is that if you want to send money from abroad to India, right? And then later on invest or save or invest, whatever, then you should ideally send it to open a new account, NRE account. This is a new account that has to be opened, right? So some people get confused that, okay, can I convert my savings account into an NRE account? You can't.
Okay.
This is a fresh account. Okay.
So NRO is converting.
Yeah. So savings account can only be converted to NRO account.
Okay.
NRE account has to open afresh.
Okay.
And its primary purpose is that if you want to send money from abroad to India, right? And for whatever reason, mostly for investing and all, while retaining the ability to take it out without hassles.
Okay. Repatriation will be?
Repatriation is the main difference between NRO and NRE. So technically, again, this is something that a lot of NRIs get confused about. Technically speaking, if you don't have any need of any repatriation, let's say you are an NRI, you are just, whatever money you are sending to India, you are okay if it stays in India. Or maybe you want to retire in India soon, or you are planning to come back to India soon. Or you are sending money just for expenses, right? So technically, you don't need an NRE account. Like it will not be that useful for you, right? Because whatever money you are sending, anyway, you're okay that it stays in India, right? There's no repatriation need. Or if you're just sending it for expenses, right? Then money is gone in some time. It has been spent, right? So again, there's nothing major to take out, right? So a lot of NRIs think that, okay, it's absolutely necessary for me to have NRO and NRE account and then maintain two of them. That's not required. NRIs should open an NRE account primarily when they're sending money to India to invest, right? where they might want to take it back.
There should be an option to take it back.
Yeah, take it back easily. So again, here also there is sometimes a confusion, and people think that okay, if it's NRO, I just can't take it back. Right? That's also not true.
Okay.
Even from your NRO account, you can repatriate money. You can take it back. It's just that there are some limits, and there's some additional paperwork that is required.
Right.
Those limits are also not small. Right. So annually you can repatriate up to $1 million from your NRO account.
Right.
Right. The documentation that is required is 15 CACB, which is essentially a document that you certify that okay, all taxes whatever were due to India have been paid, so that this money is free to sort of be taken abroad. Right. So you can if you are anyway planning to come back to India soon and all, you can technically not have an NRI account at all if you want. Cool. It is advisable to have because if you want to take the money back at some point, then it's easier. NRI FD is tax free. NRO FD is taxable, as we discussed. So because of these reasons, it's usually advisable, but not always mandatory.
Right. Now, one important question here is, when does this savings bank to NRO account becomes mandatory? Because I'm asking this because account IT department, you become an NRI if you stay abroad for more than 182 days, right? So is it enough to convert this after that, or what is the scene here?
God, this is a great question, and again something that a lot of people are confused about, and rightly so, because there are no clear guidelines to be honest, right? So this whole NRI status, like when you become an NRI, that is also governed by two distinct regulations. One is the FEMA regulations, right, which cover the banking side of things.
Foreign Exchange Management Act.
Yes,
right?
Foreign Exchange Management Act. And the other is the Income Tax Act, which governs the taxation part of things, right? So banking comes under FEMA, and taxation comes under the Income Tax Act for NRIs.
Okay.
Now, the major difference between these two in terms of who is an NRI is that FEMA looks at intent, right? So the moment you went abroad, right? Let's say for work, then under FEMA, you are an NRI from day one.
Day one, okay.
Right? The intent of doing this is actually positive, in the sense that from day one, then you are allowed to open an NRI account.
Even before leaving? Or you have a work permit?
Yeah, if you have a work permit, you can, you can sort of get it opened. Again, depends on from bank to bank. Some may open, some may not open. Some may ask you for a flight ticket so that they are sure that you are going abroad and all of that. But as soon as you land abroad, right? Under FEMA regulations, you are an NRI, and that's a positive thing in the sense that it allows you to open your NRI account and start sending money from abroad and all of that. So that's like you have to see it as a positive thing, that from day one you have access to this, the right banking channel, right? When it comes to IT Act, as you said, the primary condition is that whether you were in India for X number of days, right? Now we are talking about when to open this account, when to convert your savings account to NRO and all of that. So typically what we have seen, like what is practical and why there's no clear guidelines in FEMA that it has to be X number of days, right? So typically we have seen that people do it in their first year, when they have went abroad.
Okay.
Right? That's a practical consideration. You will not be penalized if you have not converted it on day one, right? So that much leeway is there.
If they don't convert even after a few years, so what is the penalization? I mean, what does?
Yes. So again, there are two things. There is some relaxation given to it, that okay, if you have not converted, but you are not using it, so it becomes like a dormant account. There's some relaxation for that also. Like you will not be penalized if there's like some dormant savings account that you don't even use, right? So that is still sort of okay. But if you're actively using it, right, you're supposed to convert it, you have not, and you're still actively using it, then there can be steep penalties, right? And it's it's linked to the number of days that you have not converted it for, and there's like a few thousand per day type of fine that can be levied on it. So if you are actively using it, it is highly recommended that you convert it as soon as possible, maybe on your first visit back to India, or at least definitely in the first year of you being an NRI.
Right. So my sister is in the UK. So when she was in India, we went to the bank and asked the manager to convert this to an NRI account. The bank manager said it's not needed. You can just keep it this way. So that is what the bank managers are saying. It's my personal experience, and I'm sure a lot of NRIs might have faced this, right? So in that scenario, is there a checklist that you would advise an NRI to do, right? Things to do once they become an NRI?
Yeah, definitely. And you're right. A lot of people are not aware of whether this is mandatory or optional and what the repercussions can be. Part of it is because it gets complicated very soon. Right. So I think like a very basic checklist is that when you become an NRI, again, look at it from your banking and investment side separately and from your tax side separately. Converting your bank accounts, that is the first thing that you can keep in mind. Again, you don't have to do it before you leave. You don't have to do it on day one, but definitely plan to do it on your first visit back or at some point during the first year. The second is, updating your, PAN or, status in your income tax portal as NRI. So even in your income tax portal, where your tax residency details are there, right? You have your PAN number and all of that. There is a status that whether I'm a resident Indian or a non-resident Indian. Now this has to be done when you qualify as an NRI under the Income Tax Act. So this is where the number of days
182 plus
come
days.
in. Yes. So there, as soon as you become an NRI, and when you are, before filing your ITR for that year, convert it from resident Indian to non-resident Indian. So that's the second thing. The third thing is all your investments. So you might be investing in mutual funds and stocks. So get those, those accounts also updated as NRI, and make sure that the accounts linked to those investments are either your NRO or your NRE account. So again, just just get all these statuses updated as and when possible. Usually in the first year is the best thing to do, but if not, then as and when practically possible.
Right. So I think NRI should learn or train to think it from both angles, FEMA angle and the IT angle, right? That's the most important thing to do.
Yes.
Because we know IT, just IT, right? Because we are not dealing with the FEMA stuff.
No.
So that's why that's the popular thing.
Yes. And I mean, a lot of people conflate the two, and I mean, can't really blame them because it is complicated. Unfortunately, that's the reality of it. And that is where I think this whole gift city thing is a, boon.
True.
For NRI, is that okay, if one side there is no tax liability only, so you don't have to worry about all of this at all. And then FEMA also does not apply. It's offshore under FEMA.
You don't need NRI.
So you don't need all that also. So I mean, that is the vision with which Gift City has been set up, and we are seeing some of those things kick in. Now it becoming a great place for NRIs to interact with India. India's capital markets and India's investment products.
Right. So now let's talk about investments as well. So linking both like banking and investment. So which would you advise? Non-gift city we are talking about here.
Sure.
So which account should you start your investments from? Which is ideal? NRE, NRO. Then there is PIS, non-PIS, right? So please.
So I'll just break it down for you. And again, one thing to remember is that this is all. The entire difference is around repatriation. There's no difference around taxation.
Okay.
Right? Especially when it comes to investment in capital markets. Right? So you have your, starting from your bank accounts, you have either your NRE account or NRO account. Difference is NRE is, the amount in NRE is repatriable. NRO, it's limited repatriability. I will not say it's non-repatriable because as we discussed, up to 1 million you can still repatriate. And for a lot of people that limit is big enough. This is an annual limit, right? So now just going downstream from there to type of investment account. These are banking accounts. Similarly, you have investment accounts. So just, from a conceptual perspective, PIS is like the repatriable version.
Okay.
Non-PIS is the limited repatriability version. Okay. So if you want, so now that thing becomes like easy to understand. Let's say you want full repatriability through and through. So the only way it works is that you have an NRI account through which you open a PIS investment account, and this NRI is linked to the PIS, and then you are making the investment.
Cool.
Right? So at both steps, you are maintaining the repatriability. So in this situation, whatever money you invest, when you redeem also remains completely repatriable. Right?
Okay.
The moment you change anything here, so for example, you invest via your NRO account and open a non-PIS account. Right? So it becomes non-repatriable or actually limited repatriability. If you do NRE and non-PIS, same. That link is broken. Right? So this also becomes limited repatriability in some sense. Right? So the ideal is, if you want full repatriability, NRE plus PIS. Now PIS account is difficult to open and operate. More documents are required. You can have only one PIS account in India. So for example, non-PIS accounts or regular investment accounts, like how we resident Indians have, you can open one account with one broker, you can open another investment account with another broker, you can have multiple accounts, right? But when it comes to NRIs and a PIS account, you can have only one PIS account in India. From a regulatory perspective. Right? So that's a limitation. More paperwork, more costly to maintain. So unless you have a requirement of, large funds, repatriation of large sums of money, right? Practically, it will be easier for you to just operate like an, non-PIS account, which is like a regular. You can have multiple, whichever broker you prefer, you can change it and all of that. So that's a more practical approach, as long as, your repatriation needs are within that 1 million threshold, which, for 90%, 95% of the people, that should be good enough. Above that, if you have, needs for repatriating larger sums, then it might be well worth the effort to set up, a PIS account and have invest via NRE.
Okay. It's when you hear all this stuff that you realize the importance of Gift City.
Yes. So now in Gift City, like this entire, alphabet soup of, jargon just becomes irrelevant. There is no concept of NRE, NRO accounts there. There's no concept of PIS, because everything is repatriated.
True.